Now, from your weather authority, here's Chief Meteorologist Dan Smith.
Well, good Monday evening, San Angelo. Looks like some relief is on the way, at least in a few days' time. As it stands right now, kind of a nice little image of these cumulus clouds all pushing in from the south. 96 degrees at the airport right now. Dew point humidity low but average for this time of year. And the winds about 10 to 20 mile an hour for what we have seen today and yesterday. Proved a little bit gusty, didn't it? It got up to about 30, 35 miles an hour in some spots. Even took me a little bit by surprise how much they managed to mix down to the surface. As for right now, you have these clouds bubbling up from the south. As I said, there's nothing in the way of rainfall at the moment. And for now, we're looking at this little guy up towards New Mexico, just outside the periphery of Texas. And as far as the coastal showers are concerned, not expecting those to edge into the Concho Valley. In a few days' time, though, a low pressure system is going to develop and sort of just park itself over Texas. That's a lot better than the high pressure that usually parks itself over Texas in the summertime and is responsible for that searing, blazing heat that we usually have. This will prove the opposite. I think it ought to bring in some decent rainfall and some cooler temperatures in the process. As for looking at the tropics, haven't done this in a while. This is actually on the Pacific Basin, a lot more active right now. Atlantic pretty much isn't active right now, but this is just about 1,000 miles east-southeast of Honolulu at the moment. You notice Hurricane Hector's winds here 155 miles an hour for sustained winds. That is one mile an hour shy, technically, of a Category 5. Biggest you can get here. It's a very, very big hurricane. However, luckily, it is expected to miss Hawaii. It isn't really expected even to generate much in terms of tropical storm force winds, for that matter. The center of it is just far enough away here. Ought to pass through as a Category 3, so it looks like the Big Island is safe for now, even though they could use, I'm certain, at least a little bit of rain out there. But it's the tropics. They typically get a lot more than we do. Speaking of which, though, we do have that rain, I should think, starting to develop in, especially towards Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Take a look at the timestamp here. It just sort of parsed itself over us for about Saturday, Sunday in particular. I think both days this weekend ought to be our best chances of rain that we have seen in quite some time. You know, usually it'll be fairly inconsistent. One place will get it and another won't. I remember even in October one time we had 1/10 of an inch at Mathis Field, which would be our standard, which would be our record keeping over there. And meanwhile, it was just about 3.5 inches at Goodfellow. So we always get that big of a range. This one looks to be more of a widespread event if it does finally get here. 71 degrees for tonight, clear and starry skies for tomorrow. Ought to be about the same, 98 degrees, mostly sunny, and those winds staying very consistent too. Your Weather Authority 7-day forecast, there's that relief starting in about Thursday. You know, maybe northern counties get it on Wednesday evening. I think that's going to stay up towards Big Country, a little bit north of I-20. Thursday, Friday, that's when we start to kick things into gear here, where Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at the 80s, mid to upper 80s. That ought to feel nice, let alone increased chances of rainfall. We'll be right back.